And we're back again. Yep. And today I'm going to be doing nothing but French naval grinding, as I've kind of neglected it for quite a while. And hopefully I could get a Mille Breton today. A spading, Primauguet, Jeanne d'Arc and a bit of Duguay in there as well. We'll see how far I'll get. Well, let's get it started then, with a battle in the Jeanne d'Arc. And we found ourselves a battle. Let's hope we'll get a decent map for this slow cruiser. I just had to say that, didn't I? I quite like Palau. If I were in anything that actually has speed, or some utility other than just guns. But we'll see what we can do. I don't really like my odds over at Charlie, where I usually go, because it's too open for a slow and vulnerable cruiser. And of course all the bots spawn over at the north. But I'm going to give it a shot anyways.
Sécuriser le navire. Moteur, pleine puissance.
Aha!
Barre à tribord.
Seems the squadron mate has joined me.
Contre-torpilleur, à l'avant, 10 000 mètres.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté.
Yes, the Moffat's into range now, and Moffat and Frank Knox.
8-0, 14 000 mètres.
Don't tell me that's a bot in Abruzzi. Okay, now the turrets are starting to rotate in a more, reasonable direction. Not many bots over this side. That's good for us. That would be perfect. Where are you? You are in front of me.
Contre-torpilleur, à l'avant, 9 000 mètres.
I see. It'll just take this cruiser quite some time to catch up. That would have been a decent salvo if only the range was correct. I'll activate my preemptively. Anywhere is fine. Bravo's probably easiest. There we go, 2 hooks attached. Just gonna slow down so I don't
Moteur.
pull him in a weird direction. But he'll be able to out-accelerate me now. First hit.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
Would be nice if we could sink one of them at least. kind of dead at these ranges and with my gun range.
Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord. 12 000 mètres.
The enemy is winning. Attack the B point.
Cible identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
8-0. 12 000 mètres.
L'ennemi gifle et perd de la vitesse.
3 heures lourd. À l'avant. 13 000 mètres.
There's been some talks going around that those Prince Eugen's aimbots are being improving. Not
Contre-torpilleur.
entirely sure on that.
8-0. 11 000 mètres.
Could also just be that the Prince Eugen's guns are just pretty good,
Cible identifié.
especially in fighting mostly destroyers.
8-0. 11 000 mètres.
But I'm not really sure on that.
3 heures lourd.
1-4-0.
Really not sure on that.
13 000 mètres.
Cible identifié.
They didn't feel more accurate to me at least.
8-0. 12 000 mètres.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Cible identifié. 3 heures lourd.
Position 1-4-0. 12 000 mètres.
I assume those are waterfalls on non-rendered islands? Most likely.
3 heures léger. À l'avant. 6 000 mètres.
Cible identifié. 3 heures léger.
1-4-0. 10 000 mètres.
A Miyoko, okay. It's a bit more dangerous. But he's still missing his target. We're fine for now.
Cible identifié. 3 heures lourd.
1-4-0. 11 000 mètres.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Cible
I
identifié.
assume it's a coastal vessel capturing Bravo.
1-4-0.
With Le Malin's secondaries going off like that. And now we just wait to get into position and find ourselves some more targets. Which seem to be dwindling by the second. I don't think EA has any bots in them, and I'm just gonna check. Because Blackguard needs a little bit suspect. That's arcade. Yeah, and then that'll be a player. Also, those are an awful lot of premiums. They are just popular premiums as well. Yeah, there's definitely a coastal vessel in Bravo somewhere.
3 heures lourd. À l'avant. 9 000 mètres.
Cible identifié. 3 heures lourd.
Heavy cruiser ahead, and that's the...
0.
That's an Eugen by the looks of it. Looks like a superstructure. I wonder where the Miyoko went.
Ennemi touché.
direct.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à
The
bâbord.
problem with
Terminé.
Bravo, of course, is the coastal vessel can hide itself really well in all of these caves
À l'avant.
under this island.
5000 mètres.
So it'll be quite difficult to smoke him out.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Although, maybe counterintuitively, the best way to smoke him out. Never mind, he's already been sunk.
Croiseur léger.
Position.
I was about to say the best way to smoke him out would be to let him capture the point and then just move out on his own.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position.
Although it could be risky as well. I'm gonna break the tow
Barre à
because I no longer need it.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
tribord. Tout.
We are at the objective we want to be.
Most of the strategic zones are captured.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Roger that.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Ooh boy.
Contre-torpilleur.
Yeah, don't think it was the best idea to just go out cover like that in the middle unless you're trying to torpedo them. Also, I'm not going to do much better at this point.
Moteur. En arrière. Tout. Cible identifiée.
And then
Croiseur léger.
0. 3000 mètres. Frappe direct.
it should quote unquote be ammo rackable, but
Barre au milieu du navire.
don't ask me how to do that. Out of these guns.
À l'arrêt.
And there goes our squadron mate.
Touché par des obus.
Moteur. À l'arrêt.
Croiseur lourd. À bâbord. 5000 mètres.
You're gonna shoot at me, so what we're going to do is just back it up.
Réfléchis et perds de la vitesse.
Yeah, they're kind of. We're just gonna back it up. Because I do not want to give these bots any kind of rewards. If they want to capture point, they can come and take it.
8000 mètres. Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Contrôle des dégâts aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
Nous avons subi des
I really don't like the survivability of this cruiser. It bleeds crew so quickly. I'm already down to 66% and that's just from losing turrets.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Groupe de réparation. Commencez à contrôler les dégâts. Barre à tribord. Tout.
À tribord. Toutes. Terminé.
Friendly Blagorodny is going off, that's for sure. I wish you could look approaching the Oyegunugrat plane. But it should be possible.
Thanks.
Moteur. Pleine puissance.
Yeah, you're not gonna get through all of those 40 mils with that twin engine. Yeah, our Blagorodny is going off on them. He's got 6 kills and there are currently 7 dead on the enemy team. Well, more than that, but still. He's done good.
Barre à bâbord.
Very good.
Bâbord. Terminé.
This really is the worst map I could have gotten in the Jeanne d'Arc. You don't want large, complex maps in a very slow cruiser. I don't think those buffers overheat. But you can try. Eventually. And there goes our Blagorodny by the hand of a Miyoko.
Moteur, en arrière, tout. Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des compartiments inondés.
Croiseur lourd. À l'avant. 6000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
Apparently there's something approaching Alpha, but I'm way too slow to try and protect it, although could maybe try and do something like this. I think the friendly aircraft might have it. Keep an eye out on these cruisers.
Identifié. Croiseur lourd.
Position 1-4-0. 6000 mètres.
Oop, speaking of, that's our friend in Jürgen.
À tribord, toutes. Terminé. Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 1000 mètres.
4.7 cruiser, by the way. And I've been playing Jeanne d'Arc a bit earlier as well. And I'm dead. And I've been having nothing but 5-7 up theirs.
Tout le monde, abandonnez
Nothing
le
but
navire.
it.
Abandonnez le navire.
I don't like Jeanne d'Arc. Somebody was telling me it was an okay cruiser, I think. And I don't know what they've played. But it clearly wasn't Jeanne d'Arc they were playing. I really should put an aircraft in this lineup as well at some point. Let's go to Le Mans. I just want something quick.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Torpedo range is 9 kilometers, not bad actually.
1000 mètres.
Forgot about that.
Au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Well, of course, she's better than a down tier, but you're not getting them at 4-7. I was also playing some French in the early hours of the morning, and God, is matchmaking depressing at those time slots. Being the only human player in a match is really depressing. Look, I kind of like the French ships. They're a difficult tree, but that's fine for a tech tree to be difficult. Man, it's just the zombies are just ruining all of it. Sure, I could go play arcade where you'll have less zombies, but I just don't like arcade that much. I much prefer the fact that you can't see the nameplates and that everything's a bit slower.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Actually, what? In Abruzzi. Ah. We do have a bot in our hand in Abruzzi. Why on earth would you be botting in Abruzzi? Like, is Abruzzi the best of the Italian 5-7 cruisers? Maybe not. But that is sad in a 5-7 match with only like 2 or 3 5-7s. You should be doing way better than that. Yeah, I know Abruzzi can be ammo-racked, which is why I said it's probably not the best Italian 5-7. But what was this? What is this KD again? Was it like 0.3? Where is it? Not that bad in Abruzzi, but it's Moffat. Its Moffat is almost 0.3. Which tells me enough. Yeah. I did see that, and I did take that into consideration as well. Primo Gue will be quite nasty with up theirs. But I don't... I'd say she's an upgrade to the De Guitro, eh? What else? What does she lose compared to De Guitro, eh? Other than anti-air?
Terminé. Contre-torpilleur.
You know what? I'm just gonna sneak my way past the Zeugen onto Charlie.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté.
To at least try and win this match with an assist on an Emden.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Where is Abruzzi? Where is he?
À l'avant. 8000 mètres.
There he is. No, that's Deutschland. Where is Abruzzi? Is that him? Looks like it. Okay, start to do evasive maneuvers to avoid this destroyer.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 6-0. 8000 mètres. Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Is it me or are there islands missing around here?
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Or have they just not rendered for some reason? Because I swore there were more islands around Charlie on this map. Which is out, but it's fine. Yeah, French troops are pretty decent. The thing is, Mr. Nix, there is no CAS in realistic battles, so you don't actually need... Well, there is the odd strike plane every now and then, but there's hardly any. So you don't really need anti-air anymore in realistic battles.
Contrôle des
Whereas
dégâts.
torpedoes, at least it's some utility. If you get close enough to a ship you can't really deal with your guns, it's something to deal with them. Good or not.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
That as well. Oh, I never used torp mode. The only torpedoes I would ever consider using torp mode on are the Italians, because they don't lose too much speed for quite a significant range upgrade, but never use torpedo mode. It's a bit of... it's just...
Bateau. À bâbord.
it's a bad modification.
1000 mètres.
The only reason why you'd want to take torpedo mode if you're using it is if you're using it against stationary targets. That's the only reason. Also, I could have sworn there were way more islands around this capture point. Like, you had to go in between 3 of them. Or did he just move the capture point around a bit? Yeah, like, where's this island here? More importantly, where's the island there? Okay. I shouldn't question these things.
Moteur
You shouldn't.
à l'arrêt.
Most of the zones are under control.
The thing is, most Japanese ships don't have torpedo mode. Except for their PT boats.
Par à tribord. Tout.
À tribord. Toutes. Terminé.
Or their older ships. Have torpedo mode, not the actual long lances. There we go.
Mission accomplie.
At least got a victory out of it, and I should have my Primo Gue, because I needed very little research for it. Yeah, there we go. I'll give it a second, and we'll get Emile Bertin next. Sure thing, Deutschland. I was already thinking of doing it, but it's a good thing you reminded me. I should go for the base fuse. Although the sap is actually pretty good. It's very unlikely I'll overmatch something. It's the same fuse sensitivity anyways. Delay is a bit shorter, which is not that big of a deal against destroyers. It's a significantly higher, you know, payload. I've been flip-flopping between the base fuse and the sap for the French 155s. But I've come to like the sap a bit more. Anyway, I was going to go with rudder replacement, was I? Actually, I want to just go engine maintenance. The rudder isn't that bad. Anyways, invite Deutschland. There we go. Primo Guerre. Where do I put her in my lineup? Probably where Marceau is. Yeah, I don't really want to replace... No, what am I going to do? I'll put it... I'll put it where Marceau is. Because I don't really like the Marceau anyways. And I'll replace the Aigle in aircraft. If I have a good aircraft there. Is that my... That is my attacker slot, okay. I am going to upgrade myself to 6-0. We'll see how bad it gets. I'm going to see how bad it gets. But that is the plan. I also sadly cannot expert my Primo Guerre yet because I don't have crew levels for it. Primo Guerre has 2 triples, yeah. And significantly worse anti-air, of course. But yeah, whenever Deutschland is ready, we'll get going. Well, I can't actually show it. But again, experting your crew basically gives, yep, it gives 3 levels to every single thing. So where you can see all my crew levels are like 1, it more than triples or even quadruples my effective crew level. I always expert all my ships. Because it does really contribute to repair speed, it contributes to the reload speed quite significantly. Like here it almost shaves off a second. It's just, I always do that for all my ships. Always expert them. And I have yet to regret it. Anyways, Deutschland is ready. Japanese port is also not a good map for cruisers, not for these low tier ones, because you just spawn all the way away from the battle. However... Oh, this is actually pretty rough. I might want to first spawn my Le Malin, just to get some action. No, you don't have to. Because the thing is, it doesn't matter if you give me a tow or not, we're going to be engaged by cruisers. And I kind of want to avoid it, so I'm going to first spawn Le Malin. Le Malin is rank 3, yes, so I do have maximum efficiency towards my Emile Bertin. For the Taka, probably human. Hopefully human.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
And we are going to hug the corner of this island. All we've got. I mean, yeah, her Amarak is quite vulnerable. Especially the rear one by the looks of it. I like the guns. And again, I'm not fighting humans. And the only people I'll explode to very frequently are humans, because I'll aim for the Amaraks. Where the bots seem to be firing just center mass, so I will lose my engines quite frequently. That has to be the worst smoke placement I've ever seen. Because he's going to block everybody off from just trying to maneuver around his corner. I'm not entirely sure if that's a bot or a human. By the way, it's sailing its own ship. And my guns are up in space because of the smoke as well, and that's a Wilkinson. Put it in full reverse. A Wilkinson or a Mitch or whatever it is. A fracture pad as well. Oh yeah, it's you know, it's just the update to 5.7. Back. My aiming thingy is doing weird stuff. I don't know why. I can't get my impact point down with my scroll wheel. Oop, there we go.
À l'arrêt.
Why was it doing that weird stuff? Still being pretty weird. Not quite sure what the Thatcher was thinking.
Identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
Or Mitcher.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Cible presque touchée.
Rear guns are smacking into the island.
4000 mètres.
2 Mitchers, do they have a squad? They do. That's what's up, it's a squad of American destroyers. I'm gonna start backing up again. Because I'm being shot at by something that isn't these American destroyers, and I'm not quite sure what. So I'm just gonna back.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation.
It's probably to get these, yeah.
Compartiment inondé. Maintenant. À bord, tous.
À bord, tous, terminez.
There goes one Mitcher.
Victory's near.
Moteur.
Angle myself a little bit better, I think, with my guns. Try to.
À tribord, toutes, terminé.
Might fail miserably, but that's just part of the risk.
4000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2, 6, 0. 4000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2, 6, 0. 3000 mètres. Frappe directe. Navire ennemi en feu. Barre au milieu du navire, terminé.
These are really good destroyer guns. Although the Mitcher is not really the most survivable destroyer, but still. These shells are just going straight through it.
Ennemi touché.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2, 6, 0. 3000 mètres. Ennemi touché.
I'm not quite sure where the crew is percentaging 100% because it most certainly isn't. Gonna get some engine shots.
À bâbord.
Bit high.
4000 mètres.
There we go.
Cible touchée par les objets.
Moteur. Moteur. À l'arrêt.
Cible touchée par les objets.
Keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Ennemi détruit.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2, 6, 0.
I'm going to maintain this angle
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord, terminé.
and just see what I can do.
Contre-torpilleur.
2, 6, 0.
Center.
2000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2, 6, 0. 4000 mètres.
There's a Moffat down that channel there.
Cible touchée par les objets.
Probably heading for camp.
À bâbord. 2000 mètres. Cible presque touchée.
And I was certainly shot through my ready rack by the looks of it.
Navire ennemi en feu.
But that should be a sunk sumner.
Ouais, cible détruite.
Sorry.
Barre à bâbord. Tout.
À bâbord, toutes, terminé.
Yeah, especially in stuff like Jeanne d'Arc.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
I'm having a good match in my Malin at the moment, that's for sure. I'm going to stay behind the island.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2, 4, 0. 3000 mètres.
No other fresh spawns, nope.
Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord. 2000 mètres.
Cible identifiée.
Let's see.
Contre-torpilleur.
Do we see anything at all?
2-4-0. 2000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2-4-0. 3000 mètres.
I need to sharply turn in towards Bravo now because long range fire is probably going to be incoming
0. 9000
after
mètres.
dealt with that guy.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Nothing threatening Alpha.
2000 mètres.
Aircraft incoming. 6. I'm gonna switch to the contact choose HE just in case. Never mind, we have a surface threat. And Le Malin does have decent anti-air, which I forgot about.
4000 mètres.
Now to outgun this Summers Moffat. It's a Moffat, not the whole colors. Come on. Yeah, show me more broadside. Please show me more broadside. I love it when Moffat show me broadside. I also love it if my guns work with me. There we go. Just keep going forward and we're stuck.
Cible identifiée.
Still more than enough, good enough running my Le Malin.
2-4-0. 1000 mètres. Bravo. Terminé. Poste de réparation.
And we'll spawn in Jeanne d'Arc next. Although I'm not too confident in the fact that the enemy cruisers might have been thinned out or not. Target direct left there. Very well. Yes, Moffat went poof. That is the fun of having to deal with Moffats, is that they can go poof quite easily. Not that easy in the... Not that easy doing to the Frank Knox though. They haven't lost that many people. That's a Krasny Krim. I don't like dealing with Krasny Krims.
Position.
Very tanky.
8-0. 9000 mètres.
Somebody cover me.
Although we do have a player for Taka.
Croiseur léger.
That doesn't seem to be having the best of times, but still.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté.
Not yet.
The pressure on. Victory is close.
I'm gonna spade the Jeanne d'Arc first, because I hate the Jeanne d'Arc. I want to get it out of the way as soon as possible. Although then you could argue, why did I bring the Bimogue in my lineup to begin with, but it is what it is. Yep. Well, the main reason I also spade all of my vehicles is because it helps with researching new ones. Every tier of modifications research is a boost in RP. And they're not insignificant boosts either. I think I completed tier 3 of the modifications on Jeanne d'Arc already. And that was around about 2000 RP. Which is like half a decent match. Which sounds small when you say it like that, but it's still something. And in the meantime, the ships keep getting better and better.
Contre-torpilleur.
That too, because the French 3 now, if you do it now, is probably the cheapest it's going to be. Especially with both the battleships being dirt cheap for a battleship.
Cible
That's a
identifiée.
Pola.
Croiseur lourd.
2-8-0. 10 000
Not
mètres.
exactly an easy target either.
Moteur à l'arrêt. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 3-0-0. 11 000 mètres.
Barre au milieu
Yeah,
du navire.
then like Dutchman said, it's only 270,000 RP for Lorraine, the top tier battleship. Which is a full 110,000 RP cheaper than it could possibly be, with the max being 380.
À l'avant. 10 000 mètres.
A little more effort, and victory will be ours.
Cible identifiée.
I just want to shoot at this destroyer, really.
2-8-0. 10 000 mètres.
Even if it's the longer range.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
This seems like an easier target.
Contre-torpilleur.
3-0-0. 11 000 mètres.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant. 10 000 mètres.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Cible.
But the game seems to be over anyways. Mainly thanks to their cruisers not really doing anything productive.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
Position.
Nice.
0.
Wasn't expecting to finish off that Frank Knox like that.
Cible détruite.
This game, I think. It doesn't show in the stat card, no, but I'll... can I complete one soon? I don't think so. But stick around and you'll see what I'm talking about. Oop, that's not what I wanted to press. There we go. You know, every tier of modifications fully unlocks gives you RP. It does show, hold on. Is it in economics? Where is it? Because I know that, there we go, so here. Reward for researching all modifications of tier 3 for Jeanne d'Arc, 1900 RP. Goes straight to the next vehicle you're researching. That's also why if you talk to some people, if they completely research a tech tree, they will not spade the final few ships they have. Just so that they can, when a new ship gets introduced, get it so much faster by just spading another ship in their tree. Especially the high tier ships. Also, just gonna check this chat message. It's from Maximus again. Let's see if he's in. And let's go. So yeah, we get the tech tree up until now has been pretty cheap. I can't actually look at it anymore. Yeah, Milbertin is 61k, Colbert 75k, which is cheap, I'd say, for the early cruisers. Which they are, early cruisers. Then Paris 220 and Lorraine is 270. Which is definitely quite cheap for battleships. Although, let me check actually, like, yeah. 320 is already the usual for the second level of battleship. And the highest, of course, being 380. And it's the same for the other nations, where they start at 270. Although I think the Grafspiel is 220 as well. And 1 second. I think Grafspiel is 220 because I distinctly remember the reason I got Grafspiel before Admiral Hipper is because Grafspiel was cheaper to research. That's the sole reason I have it before Hipper. I'm really hoping for Dunkirk soon as well. It is a shame we didn't get Dunkirk as soon as the French 3 got released. Or any of the quad-turreted battleships, really. And I haven't really heard anything good about these battleships yet. Alrighty, well, you say without parts, remember, stock parts and FP is a thing for naval. It's just a bit slower. Okay, everybody ready? Off we go. I think there's also calculation for the the RP boost you actually get from fully researching a tier of modifications. And I think it was just the total cost of modifications divided by 5, was it? It's somewhere on the War Thunder wiki. I'm going to try and search it up again. Let me find it, but I think it was the total RP cost of a tier divided by 5. I don't think the RP cost is going to go up anytime soon. If anything, maybe the next major update they'll yeah, the next major update they might adjust it if you get more French ships, which is only in, I think, September. Oh, another thing of the annoying part is going to be is you're probably going to spade both Colbert and Emile Bertin before getting the first battleship, won't you? Ooh, that might be annoying. But I'll see what happens. Because the 5-3 cruisers aren't like advanced enough in research to give you a long enough spading process to research the first battleship, do they? Also, this is a good map for Jeanne d'Arc right off the bat. Although, you know what I should do? It's Primogüe first. To try and get the modifications for it a bit faster. And I also completely forgot to swap my research priority to sap shells first, or at least some kind of armor piercing.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 12 000 mètres.
Branle-bas de combat. Détecté. Barre à tribord.
Lovely.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Awesome!
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé. Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 9 000 mètres.
No, what happens is with every tier of modifications you unlock on a ship, or any vehicle for that matter, you just get some bonus RP. You get a reward for unlocking an entire tier of modifications on every vehicle. You just RP towards whatever vehicle you're researching. I think didn't I can check it here. Here again. I've unlocked all modifications for tier 3 of Jeanne d'Arc, so I got 1900 RP. And it's not the free RP. Definitely not, because that's like a yellow research icon. It is just straight up a net RP boost to whatever you're researching.
Cible identifié. Croiseur léger.
1-4-0. 10 000 mètres.
Yeah, it's a one-time bonus for every tier of modifications you research in any vehicle. This goes for planes, this goes for tanks, this goes for ships, boats, helicopters, anything.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 9 000 mètres.
The thing is, on like higher tier vehicles, that bonus gets quite substantial.
10 000 mètres.
I think, like on my Japanese battleships for Fuso, I think a single tier of modifications can get me around 5 or 6,000 RP for just unlocking all of it, if not even more. Oh no, not the RP multiplier or modifier.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
You just get a one-time reward.
1-2-0.
And that's how I just have grinded every single vehicle up until now. Just spading vehicles.
9 000 mètres.
Yeah, I think it could be as high as 11 again. I don't quite remember.
Terminé.
Been a while since I actually spaded battleships.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord, 7000 mètres.
To be on the receiving end of a bot, isn't
Cible
it?
identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 1-4-0. 9000 mètres.
À tribord, toutes.
À tribord, toutes, terminé.
Cible touchée par les obus.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
I'm really happy that we managed to get stock FP in parts for ships. It makes our stock grinds so much more bearable.
Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
Direct, navire ennemi en feu. Nous avons subi des dégâts.
The Allied forces have captured a zone.
Nice. Was not expecting to actually think of Frank Knox with just HE.
Identifié.
I'm happy with that.
1-2-0. 7000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord, 7000 mètres.
Contrôle des
I
dégâts.
think one of my
en bas.
engines is damaged and that's about it.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
Frappe directe.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant, 7000 mètres.
Who is it? I don't actually have any... Well, this is the first ship I actually have that could have a float plane. Where are you? No? Yeah, I think I've noticed it doing that as well. And that is very reminiscent of what float planes used to do on release. They just go straight up when you get them into AI control. Yeah, same as well actually, kind of. That's why I also like the... don't mind like stock event vehicles, as long as the stock grind isn't too bad on them. But yeah. I'm not actually too familiar with real shatter. It's been a bigger problem on aircraft than anything else. Although that could be what originally killed high explosive in naval, I'm not too sure.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
I'm never really too familiar with the technical details about damage model changes and stuff like that.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur
There is an
léger.
enemy Bravi around.
1-4-0.
Interesting.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant, 7000 mètres.
Shimikaze Hero.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
1-4-0.
Yeah.
7000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
0. 5000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur.
Speaking of reward vehicles, actually,
9000 mètres.
the next battle pass is next week. It's next week Wednesday when it starts, and I have a suspicion on what the battle pass coastal vessel, well, battle pass vessel could be, and it might as well be another coastal vessel. I've been I think Deutschland, you're familiar with our leaky boy on our server. He has sent me something. It is. I'm not gonna spoil what it is.
Des dégâts à vos postes.
But it's not bad, I would say, but it's a bit disappointing because it does seem to be another coastal vessel. And I really want us to get a battle pass vehicle that isn't another coastal vessel.
Ennemi touché.
That much I'm going to keep hidden. I'm just gonna say it's not... It doesn't look that bad. Which I will say, the Battle Pass coastal vessels recently have been quite interesting. They've been good rewards, good little collector's items as well.
Torpilleur. À tribord, 4000 mètres.
And I can't deal with this Omaha because I don't have AP shells and I don't have fire front armament.
Contrôle des dégâts aux équipes.
It's not
Contrôlez les
really
compartiments en
unique,
feu.
but it's
Let's keep the pressure
actually,
on.
technically speaking, it's not even unique to the tech tree.
Fond dangereux devant. Tout le monde.
But it should be interesting, especially if it's a premium one. It should be solid. But also, Operation Summer is going to start in August, I think. I don't remember if it starts like mid-August or just like early August.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
I but Operation Summer is going to be soon. And I'm looking forward to that as well.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position 1, 2, 0. 5000 mètres.
We are beached and I can do literally nothing about it because the bridge is out. Oh, I can actually still correct my ship, never mind. My bridge isn't out, but I was still forced to go into a 33-second bridge repair.
Vaisseau échoué.
Aircraft incoming.
Baromètre.
Boy.
Identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 1, 2, 0. 3000 mètres. Au fond dangereux.
At least it didn't bomb me.
Ennemi touché.
Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord.
I quite like S701 as well. Not that I play that much either, but it's a solid beam coastal vessel for Germany.
Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
I don't have to go to Bravo anymore because it's already been captured.
L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse.
Seems the Omaha has forgotten about me.
Ouais, cible touchée par les obus. Ouais, ennemi touché.
Fire does instantly put itself out, even better.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
Position 1, 4, 0. 2000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
26M.
Position 1, 4, 0. 2000 mètres.
Stuka incoming.
Victory is close.
Moteur à l'arrêt.
Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 1, 4, 0. 5000 mètres.
Croiseur léger. À bâbord. 2000 mètres.
Parade à bord. Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
Position 1,
Yeah.
4, 0.
Préparez
On
les
the-
lance-torpilles.
I really need to catch up on Terrial stuff.
Contre-torpilleur.
I sadly don't really watch this stuff all that much.
Contre-torpilleur.
Even though I should.
5000 mètres.
Parade tribord. Tout.
À tribord, toutes. Terminé. Terminé.
I don't like the look of that
Nous
Stuka.
avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Moteur.
The rearward-facing torpedoes are surprisingly useful in the S701.
Zone captured. We have the
They're
advantage.
surprisingly very useful.
À bâbord, toutes.
Please, 13 mils, please.
Ah, cible touchée par les obus.
Moteur. En arrière. Tout.
Come on, was it a pilot snipe? Looks like it. Yes, it was. Pilot snipe.
Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Parade à bord.
Par à bâbord. Terminé.
We have a London with
À
us.
bâbord. 4000 mètres.
To see. Well, the thing is, I've been getting lucky with my anti-air, because first of the PE-2 that I shot down earlier didn't strike me, he struck the Shimikaze, and I literally shot down that Stuka at the last possible moment.
Cible identifiée. Patrouilleur.
1, 2, 0.
I can heavily recommend, kind of, if you're trying to grind coastal again and RB coastal is just not fun, try arcade coastal. It's, or just flip-flop between the two game modes if you can.
Cible touchée par les obus.
À tribord, toutes.
Because I've had good matches in like arcade coastal when trying to grind some stuff, but I've also had really bad matches in arcade coastal and then better in realistic.
À l'avant.
It's weird.
5000 mètres.
Frappe directe.
Coastal in general is a bit weird to grind at the moment.
Moteur. À l'arrêt.
The concept of there's destroyers.
L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse.
Moteur. À l'arrêt.
No. Arcade has the same research point rewards as realistic. The exact same modifier, RP modifier. The only thing you get less of in arcade is silver lines.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
And I'll show you right after this battle.
Ennemi touché.
Not a bad first match in Primo Guerre.
Rentrez à la base.
But yeah, let's skip this. Lots of backups, lovely. Yeah, should be able to. What did I get? My parts. I can get my sap though, lovely. And get fire division. So currently realistic battles: Primo Guerre 296, 296, 272, and 444. If I go to arcade battles, 296, 296, 272, 444. Same research RP modifiers in arcade and realistic. Just a lower SL modifier. It's not even, well, it is quite a bit lower. But in general, not that bad. And I need to fix that. Oh yeah, I remember doing the test myself as well about those 13 mils not being actually aligned. Also, I think for Primo Guerre, I want to be-align the float plane, just for fun. So I'll get fire division, then improved rangefinder, propeller replacement, primary armament, and then hydroplane. Are they? Those specific 13 mils, or do you mean just AA guns in general? I assume just you mean those 13 mils. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What does Le Moulin have on the rear? That's funny. It's back AA. I would use NVIDIA Ansel to try and get closer, but it doesn't work for ages now, so... Oh. No, can't quite see what would be funny about it. I must be blind as a bat then. Can't quite see anything. No, don't worry. That's a lot of 13 miles on Emile Bertin. Let's gonna look at it again. What in the... See, Emile Bertin also has the bench. 13 is there, 413 is there. This weird arrangement. No, oh, two Tilder 13s midships. Very weird bathtubs for the rangefinders. Those are the 37s, aren't they? They are. What a weird arrangement. Anyways, let's get ready to go for the next battle. Did I get any more? So what I do as well, which might not be the best choice for crew levels, when I'm trying to just reach a certain crew level for expert crew, I don't care what crew skill it is, I just level it up to get to my minimum level. Which I've seen quite a few people be a bit upset at me about. But expert crew is really helpful, especially on lower level ships. First off, get the sap. And get to a ratio where I kind of like it. It's just mainly sap and then just some HG. Yeah. And we wait for our team to spawn. Oh yeah, this is the encounter version. I am very tempted to do the same in my Le Malin, but I really just want the crew levels in Primo Gue. Ooh, full up tier as well. All the way up to 6-0.
Branle-bas de combat immédiat. Moteur, tête puissante. Barre tribord.
À tribord tout. Terminé. Croiseur lourd. À l'avant. 10 000 mètres.
Combat. Ennemi détecté. Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
And now we just pray that we survive this hailstorm of shells.
Cible identifiée.
And some enemy...
Position 1-8-0.
Not Northampton, not Pensacola, what's the other one?
Identifié. Croiseur lourd.
1-8-0. 10 000 mètres.
Or what's the other three triple turret American heavy cruiser? It's not the New Orleans either, because it still has the old gun turrets. I don't think it's New Orleans. Isn't there another one as well? Portland. Portland is what I'm thinking of. You have Northampton, Portland, Pensacola, and New Orleans. I didn't even know you could detonate Crash the Crims. Learn something new every day.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
1-8-0.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 11 000 mètres.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
Frappe directe.
Yeah, although diving shells really aren't all that common.
Barre toute. Terminé.
At least I never be. Okay, I shouldn't say never because I have actually pulled off diving shells like once or twice, but I can't reliably pull off diving shells. And believe me, I've tried.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Seems that trying to shoot at Belfast is not going to be that fruitful.
10 000 mètres.
So how about Moffat instead? And Moffat got sunk the second my first salvo hit.
Perdez la vitesse.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Okay, our team is dropping like flies.
9 000
And that is not a good sign.
Au fond dangereux devant.
Croiseur lourd. À l'avant. 7 000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur
That's an enemy.
1-6-0. 7 000
That was an enemy courage going really fast.
dangereux devant.
And I managed to still beat myself. Because there is something in my path.
en arrière. Tout.
Don't ask me what's in my path, but there was something in my path.
10 000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
1-8-0. 12 000 mètres.
À tribord toute. Terminé.
And there goes another Moffat.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
And there goes our friendly Penzeugen. Jesus. Yeah. I have a strong feeling
Croiseur lourd.
Position.
that my Primo Gue is not long for this world,
10 000 mètres.
and that I'm going to get in Le Malin as well.
Incendie. Incendie.
closer to victory.
If only we had actual players in our 6-0 cruisers. They could actually kill other players. They could actually stay in a match longer. Jesus. Oh, and they also have a 3-man squad. Same as us, of course, but they're running 5-7s and 6-0s. We are running 5-0s. Top stuff.
Descendez les canons de sauvetage. Abandonnez le navire maintenant. Tout le monde, abandonnez le navire. Abandonnez le navire.
And my stream doesn't want to stream for some reason.
Croiseur lourd. À tribord. 8000 mètres.
Branle-bas de combat.
Come on.
Ennemi détecté.
Of course, I point in the complete opposite way of where the story would want to go.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
Position 1-4-0. 7000 mètres.
À
Are we
tribord.
back? We're not back.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire, terminé. Croiseur léger. À bâbord. 7000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
1-8-0. 5000 mètres.
Préparez les tubes lance-torpilles.
Torpille prête.
Come on, internet connection, be stable enough.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord, terminé.
Barre à
There
bâbord.
we go.
Tout.
À bâbord, toutes, terminé.
My torpedoes are of course 1-meter depth strokes, so they're going to be less effective against these cruisers.
Préparez les tubes lance-torpilles.
Torpille prête. Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 7000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur
Jesus.
léger.
Of course, we're running into a 5-7 3-man. Although that Belfast is pretty low.
Cible identifiée.
But I'm in the Le Malin, and those are two big old juicy cruisers. They can sink the whole fort and I can sink them.
Incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
Tout le monde. Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Prêt à tirer. Navire en feu.
Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes.
À tirer.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
Yeah. And that's just enough of that match. There's no point in respawning. Really isn't. There we go. And we'll just wait for squad mates to get back. And we'll get going again. Yeah, don't, please. I'm already risking it too much with bringing Primo Guerra, and I want to play the Jeanne d'Arc at some point as well. I should actually be playing Jeanne d'Arc because I also have a research boost towards Emile Bertin with it. Defeat? No, really? Who would have guessed? Sad. But we'll just get ready again and get into the next match. Off we go. to hopefully better matchmaking. I can understand it not being 4-7 with all those torpedoes. But yeah. Like, the early cruiser battle ratings are really weird. The thing is as well, remember, we do not have an accurate reference frame anymore.
Sécuriser le navire. Moteur, pleine puissance. Barrette tribord,
And yeah,
À tribord,
Like-
doute. Terminé.
no one has an accurate reference frame of what 5.0 and 4.7 matchmaking should be if it's filled with players when you're playing realistic battles. Genuinely.
combat. Ennemi détecté.
Or heck, even getting up there, you don't really know what it's supposed to be anymore, since you're just fighting nothing but zombies.
Torpilleur.
3, 6, 0.
It's not one of a squad.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
Cible identifiée. Patrouilleur.
Position 3, 6, 0.
We have us,
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
and I wouldn't. Those I know. Shotty is a squadron with literally 100 and what is it? 6 zombies. It's a squadron that purely exists to grind out squadron vehicles. So yeah. Other than that, Lubeck is most likely not a bot. Let's check, of course. Yeah, that seems decent. Oh, that Moffat is very suspect. Very suspect. Is it a real player? Let's check. Looks like one, with level 33. Ooh. Ooh. Oh no. The Geniere indeed might be a real player, but not a good one. At least he's new to naval.
Torpilleur. À l'avant. 4000
That's for sure.
L'ennemi est derrière.
Yep.
Ah, frappe directe.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord.
And we haven't seen the enemy 3. I haven't seen the enemy 3-man squad yet. And I haven't capped the coastal cap, so I assume they're going to be in blue water vessels. But what kind of blue water vessels? Yeah, I know he's a player, but he's literally hasn't played any realistic battles at least. Has he played Arcane? Did we check? You know, he's literally just playing reserves. Oof. Well, it's good to see new players in Naval at least, but in the current state of Naval, it's not a good experience. It's not a good experience to try and learn reserve ships when you're constantly fighting this. Although, hold on a sec. Geniere is, Geniere is 4-3. That makes sense.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position
Otherwise, I was going to start and question why he's at 5-0 if he's a new player to Naval.
Allied forces have captured us all.
Yeah, Geniere is 4-3, so that makes sense.
Contre-torpilleur.
If it's actually, was it the
0. 6000 mètres.
was it the World War II Geniere or the Cold War Geniere, like the Fletcher Geniere?
2, 0. 10 000 mètres.
I can't get a look on anything. Ah, it was the Fletcher. I think that's 4-0 then, isn't it? It is a really nice ship.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord, terminé.
It's for 3, okay. You know what, with the speed modifications, the Jeanne d'Arc is not that slow. Like, I don't have engine modification yet, and currently 48 kph is... It's better than 44. And she's stock, that's for sure. 51 is acceptable. It's slow, but it's at least usable, especially when maps this small.
Ah! Cible touchée par les obus. Ennemi touché.
Yeah. I am expecting it.
Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord. 4000 mètres.
Cible touchée par les obus.
Although I really hope they flash out the tech tree in the next update. With the official release of the French tech tree.
Cible
Good.
touchée par les obus. Frappe directe.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant. 8000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position. 3, 4,
Still don't know what the enemy squad is in. Apparently one of them has gotten a kill. No? This is this, okay.
Barre à bâbord.
Never mind.
terminé.
Oui, feu détecté sur le navire ennemi.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
4, 0. 8000 mètres.
Tribord. Tout.
À tribord, toutes. Terminé. Barre au milieu du...
Oui,
Definitely an
ennemi
idea.
détruit.
Cible identifiée.
Not quite sure what I detonated on that Moffat, but I'll take it.
4, 0. 4000 mètres.
And that Moffat is a good Moffat.
Barre à bâbord. Tout.
À bâbord, toutes. Terminé. Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord. 7000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position. 3, 0, 0.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
4000 mètres. Ennemi touché.
Cible identifiée.
I
Contre-torpilleur.
kind of want to go for Charlie and at the same time don't want to go for Charlie. Because if I go to Charlie, I'm taking myself out of the fight for the rest of this battle.
8000 mètres.
And we need the firepower at the front.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position.
Aha!
3, 4,
It's one of the 3-man squad and a Mitcher.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 4, 0. 3000 mètres.
Somebody attack him!
L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse. Ah! Ennemi touché. Frappe directe.
Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord.
Can I
1000 mètres.
ready rack the 76? I could.
Frappe directe.
Really good.
Navire en feu.
And now to go for the engines.
Cible touchée par les obus.
Mitcher is not really responding to the incoming damage, is it?
Ennemi touché. Ah! Cible touchée par les obus.
There we go.
Moteur à l'arrêt. Cible identifiée.
And these are the other parts of that squad.
3, 0, 0.
Bâbord. Tout. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 0, 0. 2000 mètres.
Terminé.
L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse. Cible touchée par les obus.
Attaquant. À l'avant. 10 000 mètres.
Vaisseau ennemi coulé.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Enemy aircraft, eh?
Ennemi touché.
Gonna put my gunners on
Identifié.
AA duties then.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position 3, 4, 0. 2000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2, 8, 2000 mètres.
A little more effort and victory will be ours.
Ah, direct.
And that literally is gonna be behind cover now.
Moteur. En
Enemy
arrière.
aircraft is a PBJ. Interesting choice.
Contre-torpilleur.
Because I believe the PBJ doesn't have a bomb sight.
Par un tribord. Tout.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 2000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Did Jandak always have automatic build? Okay. But Jandak has bothers.
Cible
That's
identifiée.
around here than I thought.
Attaquant.
Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord. 1000 mètres.
Could be one of the 75 in the nose, but you're not going to do much with that either.
Moteur. Pleine puissance.
There's going to be a little bit of a bump, but that's fine. He's doing his best to slow down to a halt. And we're just going to exchange some paint.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
Cible identifiée.
Oh, what's that? What's that?
2000 mètres.
Somebody attack him.
Moteur. En arrière. Tout.
Contre-torpilleur.
Don't worry about it.
2000
Just
mètres.
keep going forward. Charge at him.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2-0. 2000 mètres.
They still have a lot of players in action. And we don't. It's literally just us.
Just keep it up.
And that one reserve Italian guy that just, you know, did his thing. Oh,
Moteur. À l'arrêt.
Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord. 1000 mètres.
I do have primary armament targeting, but these turrets don't rotate that fast.
Position 2, 4, 0. 1000 mètres.
There's all targets, never mind, the bark has already been sunk.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 6, 0. 2000 mètres.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant. 9000 mètres.
And another Moffat sunk.
Tribord. Tout.
À tribord. Toutes. Terminé.
Yeah, there's several of them trying to capture Bravo now. Pretty quick in reverse, Shandark.
Par au milieu du navire.
Terminé.
Vaisseau ennemi coulé. Oui.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 3,
And we're
4,
positioned
0.
pretty good for two cruisers. We can cover Alpha pretty well. And have a good line of sight on Bravo.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 6, 0. 3000 mètres.
And now we just stay here.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Get shelled from long range by this bot, Yubari.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 8000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
And because the K2 is still recognized as a frigate in game, which is recognized as a coastal vessel, all of my AI gunners just open fire. Luckily the K2 only has high explosives, so it's not going to do much to a cruiser. And I think I've shot through most of my ready rack already. And he's going to hide into cover now, isn't he?
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
Position 3, 2, 0.
Aircraft incoming, but my anti-air should cover me. Yep.
2, 0.
6000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
quite in the best of positions by the looks of it.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des compartiments inondés. Maintenant. Cible
So
identifiée.
let's just move a bit.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur. Moteur en arrière. Tout. Contrôle des dégâts aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu. Paratribord.
Tout terminé. Cible touchée par les obus.
Ah. Cible identifiée. Torpilleur.
Position 3, 4, 0. Civil. Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Now is when I would have really liked my rudder replacement modification.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des compartiments inondés. Maintenant.
Au fond dangereux de bas.
Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes. Moteur.
I do like the look of the French float plane.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant. 9
It's very cool.
Au fond dangereux devant.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 4, 0. 5000 mètres.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
Cible
I wonder where
identifiée.
the K2 went, because I don't think it's big enough to actually fit underneath, well, small enough to fit underneath that bridge. The K2 should still be, yep, there he is.
Tout terminé.
Cible
Not
identifiée.
small enough to fit under the bridge.
2, 0. 3000 mètres.
Barre à bâbord.
And it seems like he's gonna give it another go.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2, 0. 5000 mètres.
Can I hit his engine? That's the question.
Contre-torpilleur. Au milieu du navire.
And there we go.
L'ennemi gicle et perd de la vitesse. Ouais. Cible touchée par les obus. Cible détruite. Bravo. Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 1000 mètres.
Cible identifiée.
We should have this match in the bag.
3, 2, 0. 4000 mètres.
Barre à tribord. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 4, 0. 5000 mètres.
Cible
There we go.
identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Actually, pretty solid match, seeing that we were the only 3 competent naval players on our team. Not a bad match at all. There we go, full seakeeping modifications. What next? TF might be useful for the 75s. And we'll keep on going. You mean the modern Colbert? Ah, no. Somebody was, what is it again? Was it you that actually mentioned it in my Discord? That French crews are based on a Regulo, was it? Who mentioned it? Where did you mention it again? Was it in my Discord? Was it in boats? I don't remember. Yeah, it was you. Chateau de Knoll. I'll have to look it up. Anyways, both are ready, so let's get going. Oop, that's quick. Sounds pretty interesting. South Africa. I've been getting South Africa quite a bit earlier today. And I've not been liking, well, I have been and I have not been liking it too much. It really depends.
Préparez le navire au combat. Moteur.
5-7 again.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
Barre à tribord.
And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push towards Bravo. It's just the easiest way to keep my nose in and survivability a bit up. Yeah, 51 kph is... It's slow for a cruiser, but it's not unwieldy. It's not something you can't work with. Not like the stock 44.
Croiseur lourd. À l'avant. 9000 mètres.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté. Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
Position 260. 14 000 mètres.
Okay. The one thing I do kind of find more interesting about Arcade is that you can see the enemy team composition in Arcade as well. So you know how many players you're dealing with, how many bots you're dealing with, that kind of stuff. In RB, you just have to guess. You can also see lineups in Arcade if you hover over a person, like their ship. It's another neat thing.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
Which I don't really understand why you can't do that in realistic battles. Because I'm really curious what that Barker has to be stuck in a 5-7 match.
Croiseur lourd.
Karlsruhe, but it could be a bot because it is a premium.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
2, 4, 0. 11 000 mètres.
This is like a suspected player Eugen on our team because he did pull like a pretty sharp turn at the start of the spawn. Or do you mean that they have a player Eugen? Ah. That's not something you want to see.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2, 6, 0. 8 000 mètres. Croiseur léger. À l'avant. 10 000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
Position 2, 6,
Our Barker
0.
also already exploded. And Frank Knox. So you have a Frank Knox and you first spawn a Barker. Seems reasonable.
Awesome!
We have
Identifié.
some sort of British cruiser by the look of the turret.
2, 4, 0.
Probably a Liverpool, seeing it's only a single turret in the rear. 2 in the front. Yeah, it's gonna be
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à
Liverpool,
bord.
and those are its
Terminé.
secondaries. Yep, makes the most sense to me.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position
I do. I loved it back then.
10 000 mètres.
I spaded Liverpool back when I was just grinding out the British Tactor in general, and it was such a fun ship. Back when it was 5-3 and the other 5-3 was what? Leander?
Torpilleur. À l'avant.
Did it have any, like, of this later 6-inch? Actually, what cruise did it have at 5-3? Leander, Hawkins... I think Dido was still a 5-0 at that point. If it isn't still. But yeah, Liverpool at 5-3 was such a good cruiser for Britain. We don't have an Ajax.
Ennemi touché.
Ooh, what's this?
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpille.
2-2-0. 4000 mètres. Vaisseau ennemi coulé.
Bar à tribord, terminé.
Several destroyers charging in.
Ennemi touché.
But again, it's destroyers that don't make sense. Why am I seeing a Farragut class Yalwyn when I'm in a 5-7 match? It seems like 4 enemy torpedoes heading my way, but I highly doubt they'll be able to intercept me. They could maybe, but I don't think they will. So I'm going to consider those torpedoes dropped a non-threat. Which might come to bite me later, but we'll see.
Bar à tribord.
Ouais, ennemi touché.
It has been knocked out, but that's fine. We're going straight for our target. Alwyn repaired all of his engines, which is going to cost him.
Vaisseau ennemi coulé.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
And what we're going to do is just not repair. I do not care what kind of damage I sustain. As long as I can still move forward, we're not going to repair.
Touché par les obus. Nous avons subi des dégâts. Ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse.
Also the turret, fine. I'm now most certainly out of the danger zone for the Alwyn's torpedoes. So it's fine. Getting peppered by something in front, but I don't care because we're going straight for the cap.
Position 2-4-0. 4000 mètres. Poste de réparation. Barre endommagée. Appareil hors de contrôle.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2-4-0.
Engines are still working good enough. I am quite slow, but it's good.
Nous avons subi des dégâts. Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
And I'm mainly going to angle myself in against that heavy cruiser. Because it can still overmatch me and get to my engines. Sadly.
Tout le monde, moteur gravement
And I'm already at 10% crew.
appareil hors service.
And I'm dead. Because it kept just overputting me into my engines somehow.
Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
Eh. And I also got my rear compartment.
Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
It does kind of work on my nerves that there are ships out there that can survive taking dozens of hits without repairing at all. And there are ships like Jeanne d'Arc, which if you take damage to 2 crew compartments and all your turrets, and maybe an engine or 2, you're dead. It annoys me. I think we are going to try some bombing runs now. The part that annoys me the most about Jeanne d'Arc is just how much crew you lose from losing a single crew compartment. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know it's a lot. Okay, what do we have? Nothing really threatening any of the caps. We have a Liverpool over at Charlie though. And also Clemson class going to Bravo. Now I can easily deal with a Clemson class. That's so annoying, man. I'd actually just died by bow tanking a Eugen and you just could overpen me. But oh well. Yep, I'm going to deal with this Clemson. I can't deal with Liverpool, especially in time. We're just going to deal with the Clemson.
We've got to counterattack.
Yeah, it is. But it doesn't mean I should stop trying. Bombs away. Ouch, a bit too close. Let's retract those air brakes. I hope the 40 mils don't slap me out of the sky. And just suicide this Clemson after my rudder got taken out, of course. Heh. But it seems the Clemson is veering off course, so it's fine.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant. 9000 mètres.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi
Yeah,
détecté.
Liverpool. Yep, there we go.
Identifié. Croiseur léger.
2, 2, 0. 9000 mètres.
And I think we'll have to fight this Liverpool.
Vaisseau
And
ennemi.
les Jeanne d'Arc.
doublé.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Oh, lovely.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
No, we're being shot from the front. I think I'm off it.
Détecté sur le navire ennemi.
I've been thinking of trying to get it to work right, but it's not that simple in naval to get the required amount of spawn points. You could actually quite possibly pull it off in naval sea, but then you might run into lag problems.
Do something fast.
Also, I'm just not panning this Liverpool, am I?
Torpilleur. À l'avant. 9000 mètres.
Just hitting too high. I think I'm just hitting too high. Yeah, no, I'm just not panicking. There's indeed a Moffat dead ahead of me,
Contre-torpilleur.
2, 8, 0.
and I'm gonna give up on Liverpool.
Frappe directe.
Contrôle des dégâts aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu. Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes.
Seems Eugen is switching fire to either yes, Eugen is switching fire to me as well. Then most likely not going to last too much longer.
Détruite, bravo. L'ennemi gîte
Use a dodge the Moffat.
Cible identifiée.
Gonna deal with the Liverpool again. Back to 30, down to 30% crew after losing 2 crew compartments and an engine. 3 crew compartments and I'm dead. The ship has multiple enemies catching Bravo as well, and that's just gonna be a no more respawn for me, I think. I have one more spawn, but it's no point. Not with crossfire between Liverpool and Eugen. Bot Eugen at that. Yep, that's gonna be me back to hangar. And what annoys me more, actually now that I think about French 3, is that at no point are they well equipped to deal with the zombies. Unless with maybe their battleships. They can deal with the zombie cruisers, but by 3 you won't be equipped enough to deal with the zombie Helenas and stuff. At least I don't really have the confidence in it. Ooh, there we go. Apparently my A35 wasn't spaded yet. Got my TF for the 75s. And we'll just go for ammo wetting next. And before we get into the next one, HETF. Yep. Gaijin really needs to be more heavy-handed with dealing with these bots, man. They just ruin the game. But we'll push through it. For now, at least. Yeah. Although, against destroyers, I'm actually quite a fan of these cruisers. They're not too bad against just destroyers. It's just that we get constantly up there to 5-7 over and over and over again. And have to fight an Eugen, well, a zombie Eugen or two. And they really hurt, because those are really good cruisers. I hope that those bots just stay down. God damn it. I'd rather actually just fight with the Gaijin bots more than anything else. And it's an up there to 5-7 again. Off we go. To our inevitable demise. I'm gonna first spawn Primogua to see if I can actually reach Bravo this time. If it allows me to press the to battle button on Primogua. No, okay, Jeanne d'Arc it is.
Branle-bas de combat, tout le monde à son poste. Moteur, pleine puissance. Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
I was about to say maybe that's a human Eugen because he slowed down for the Emden. Then I saw him just fire into the ocean for no goddamn reason. I highly doubt it's human. Although it could be.
13 000 mètres.
It isn't.
Ennemi détecté.
Humans don't then just rotate their guns behind them and for some reason just fire.
Barre à bâbord, terminé.
You don't do that. Actually, let me double check to actually make sure what I'm saying is correct. Do I even need to make any other comments? Like, actually.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Who would have guessed?
13 000 mètres.
Barre à tribord.
À tribord, tout. Terminé.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu
Let's
du
just
navire.
try and make our way to Bravo. Actually get some more RP.
Cible identifiée.
It's a Bravi squad? That is spicy.
9 000 mètres. Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 10 000 mètres.
Somebody attack him!
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2, 6, 0.
And here's that infamous shotty again.
Enemy forces
For those that weren't here Friday when I discovered them, or was it last Wednesday I discovered them?
6, 0.
It is a squadron with literally over 100 bots. Purely designed to grind out squadron vehicles. I believe, at least.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 8 000 mètres.
Yep. You know what I think Gaijin really should do to deal with is just like hire 5 or so people that do nothing but ban bots. And yes, there is action a day. But that's genuinely the thing that Gaijin should do, is just hire like 5 people. I'd even volunteer. Genuinely. We just hire some people. Give them like make them do their job well. And just do nothing but banning bots all day. I'd think they'd get several thousands in a week done. By how obvious these bots are. And you know what's the bad part about some of these bots? Like this Eugen I was looking at earlier, this guy. He's botting in his Eugen. I'm almost certain of it. Not a 100%, but like good 95% certain, right? That this Eugen is a bot. He has other stuff. He has a normal account. With normal match times, like, okay, like double-digit matches, triple digits is already high, for my opinion, for certain vehicles, but it happens. That's reasonable. And then you just have, you know, a casual 1,100 matches in Prince Eugen. Do you have any other matches in any other naval vessels? He does. He does. But how can you have, like, a total of, what is that? 160, I want to say. 150 if you want to be... 160 if you want to be generous, right? Naval matches. And then 1,175 in Prince Eugen. This cannot be an actual human behind the Prince Eugen. I would go insane if I had to play the same ship like over 1,000 times. I think if I look at my own player card, right? Go to service record and go to Blue Water Fleet and Coastal Fleet. And of course actually reset that nation filter. My highest played ship is only just shy of 200 battles. And that's because I just keep playing Chikugo whenever an event rolls around.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 9000 mètres. Bâbord. Tout. À bâbord.
And this Frank Knox can get shoved because he's not bought anyway, so I don't care about what he thinks. Let's get out of the way.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Frank Knox, but I don't really care to take the fight. Is that a Moffat? It is a Moffat. And let's see if we can take... Or maybe detonate the Moffat.
À tribord. 5000 mètres. Barre à tribord. Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Frappe direct.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Aha, Mitcher.
0. 8000 mètres.
Not the Mitcher, the... that one. Oh. Torpedoes.
Ah, cible touchée par les obus.
Wilkinson, that's the one, Deutschland. Thank you.
Information sous la ligne de flottaison.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des
And why is he not firing his guns at me?
À tribord. Tout. Terminé.
I don't know. Like, the things I have seen legitimate people get like over 1,000 matches in certain ground vehicles, and to me that sounds nuts.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Rétablissez l'étanchéité.
Because I cannot imagine playing like thousands of matches in the same vehicle.
Ouais, ennemi touché.
Cible identifiée.
Then again, I'm also the kind of guy that almost never touches my aircraft, or any vehicle for that matter, after I spaded them. I like the ships, aircraft, tanks. Just don't play them after I spaded them. Which I really should do a bit more.
Contre-torpilleur.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
Cible touchée par les obus. Ah, nous avons subi des dégâts.
What is it shooting me?
Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord. 8000 mètres.
Something I don't know.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2, 8, 0. 4000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2, 8, 0. 4000 mètres.
Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes. Cible identifiée. identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
4000 mètres.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2, 8, 0. 4000 mètres. L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse. Ennemi détruit, bravo. Feu détecté sur le navire ennemi.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 0, 4000 mètres. Contre-torpilleur.
Yeah.
4000 mètres.
Liverpool was a really good grind vehicle back in the day. It's a really good vehicle in general.
Cible identifiée.
I'm gonna try and hide myself behind this rock on the left hand side.
3, 0, 0.
And I need to swap back to my base up. So what is it actually shooting me? Is it a...
Touché par les obus.
Moteur à l'arrêt.
Oh, I want to detonate this guy so bad.
Tous terminés.
But I need to get him to cover.
Identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 3, 2,
And that's a player Moffat, but so I'm just gonna melt instantly.
contre-torpilleur.
Because why wouldn't I?
Cible identifiée.
He's hidden himself really well. I can't just do this all anymore. Let's maybe deal with the coastal battle instead.
Cible identifiée.
Which is apparently launching torpedoes my direction.
Cible identifiée.
They seem alright. They were alright. What on earth is that? Something?
Bateau.
Oh, it's coming from behind cover. Trying to finish me off. Let's see if I can finish him off instead. No, I can't hit his hull.
Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 3, 0, 0. 4000 mètres.
Want to flash the engine.
Contre-torpilleur.
I'm gonna try and go for a detonation still.
Endommagé. Appareil hors service.
Don't think I can hit low enough.
Contrôle des dégâts.
As the ground just gets in the way.
Contrôlez les compartiments.
Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Retirez.
And I'm sinking.
Préparation de la ligne de flottaison.
Moteur à l'arrêt.
Frappe directe. Croiseur léger. À la mort. 4000 mètres. Inondation détectée dans le compartiment. Inondation. Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Do I try and bomb something? I say no, I'll go with Primogre instead. Gaggle of bots behind an island.
Moteur. Pleine puissance. Cible
Because where
identifiée.
else would they be?
Position 2, 6, 0. 14 000 mètres.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord, terminé.
Cible identifiée.
More
Contre-torpilleur.
torpedoes heading my way, but we'll be able to touch them by just staying straight.
13 000 mètres.
It might be Dio. It might be. Yep.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2, 8, 0. 13 000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur.
I think Dutchman is still trying to try and go for Alpha.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté. Cible identifiée.
Let's see if it works.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2, 6, 0. 10 000 mètres.
You know what the really bad thing about these bots is?
2,
They almost like tarnish the ships. Because the Prince Eugen is... Well, it doesn't really have the best reputation to begin with, but it's not a bad ship to get. Same with the Frank Knox, it's a really good premium. But just seeing these premiums almost makes me just... Yeah,
position 2,
Ex-
4,
I don't know how to describe it.
10 000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 9 9000 mètres.
But nowadays, whenever I just see a premium ship, it almost repulses me.
Contre-torpilleur.
2, 6, 0. 9000 mètres.
But they really need to crack down on these zombies, man.
Barre au
They
milieu
really
du
do.
navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé. Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 13 000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
7000 mètres.
Attacking!
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
Position 2, 6, 0. 8000 mètres.
That's a missile from a Bravi.
Barre à bâbord. Cible
Here comes
identifiée.
another.
Contre-torpilleur.
2, 6, 0. 8000 mètres.
Moteur, un tiers. Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
Position 2, 6, 0. 8000
Enemy
mètres.
aircraft up, apparently.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2, 6, 0. 8000 mètres. Ah! Ennemi touché.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
2, 6, 0. 8000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2, 6, 0. 8000 mètres.
Croiseur lourd.
There's the aircraft. Here for a Ragle.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Cible presque touchée.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2, 8, 0.
Good to know.
1000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2,
I also still really need to work on my German 3. Mainly kind of out of the how to say that, out of the fear of missing out on being able to test drive the Bismarck whenever it comes out.
navire ennemi en
Because I know for a fact that that's going to be a very popular ship when it comes out. It can't be anything other than popular. And Bravi's going should sink soon enough.
13 000 mètres.
So I really want to work my way up the German 3 as well. But I'm at this awkward spot with the German 3 where I only have one ship to spade them with at a time.
Ouais, cible détruite.
Although I think I still have to spade at, is it Z46 is that 3-1?
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord.
The 105 anti-air destroyer. I still need to spade that thing. Not that that's very easy in the current state of the game either.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2, 4, 0. 7000 mètres.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Cible identifiée.
Yep.
Contre-torpilleur.
2, 4000 mètres.
And the torpedoes on the Bravi are really dangerous.
Feu détecté.
Because
sur
they're
le
really
navire
quick as
ennemi.
well. 13 minutes. I might make it to the cap if I survive,
Cible identifiée.
which is a pretty big if in these French cruisers.
6, 0. 6000 mètres. Ennemi touché.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2, 4, 0. 3000 mètres.
Chasseur. À tribord. 10 000 mètres.
Alrighty, Deutschland. Understandable. I'll see you most likely in the next one. Also, it's just getting late, isn't it? For European.
Ouais, cible touchée par les obus. Ouais, ennemi touché.
I don't think, I don't think I've ever actually gotten a free ace on a ship yet. Although I'm close with several of my Japanese ships to getting free ace crews.
Ennemi touché.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Like, especially the low tier destroyers
0.
are pretty close. Because of the Iron Army.
Des dégâts.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
L'ennemi cible à la vitesse.
Just slowly but surely working my way over to Charlie.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Cible identifiée. Patrouilleur.
2, 4, 0. 7000 mètres.
You might be able to, you know, grab this back into
Par à bord.
the jaws of defeat.
Terminé.
That's an AI, so I'm not too worried about it.
Cible identifiée.
Several enemy aircraft up.
Position. 3,
BBJ is no threat, LA5 is no threat either.
1000 mètres.
Cible identifiée.
So we're fine.
Position. 3, 0, 0. 5000 mètres.
And if anything, I'd actually prefer to see enemies in aircraft. Especially if the aircraft are not really any threat. Keep them out of ships, which could be actual threats.
Attaquant.
Position.
The battle between the two is definitely Mutsuki because it has SAP.
1000 mètres.
Unironically. I do have a sweet spot for the Iron Army, but Mutsuki just has SAP, so it's better.
0. 5000 mètres.
Par à tribord.
Par à tribord. Terminé.
Cible presque touchée. Cible touchée par les obus.
There goes Maximus, and A26 is apparently up as well.
Cible touchée
Yeah, I think
par
we'll
les
win
obus.
this. If the ticket beat is fast enough after capturing Charlie,
7000 mètres.
which it should be.
Ah, frappe directe.
Bâbord. Tout.
À bâbord. Toutes. Terminé.
Moteur.
The awkward thing about the matchmaking we've been having as well is that I have no real clue how these ships fare against other 5.0s. Because I haven't been fighting 5.0 cruisers really. We got some Omahas earlier tonight.
Cible en feu.
Barre au milieu
But
du
yeah,
navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
we got an Emden earlier tonight as well, but it got backed up by a Miyoko and an Oigan. Yeah, no, none of the Japanese World War II destroyers have any kind of armor-piercing shell.
1000 mètres.
Do you? None of them. Which really sucks nowadays, but back in the day when destroyers had the same damage model as coastals, it worked. It worked fine. And what really frustrates me is that there was like a 2 or 3 week period, not too long I think after New Power, where high explosive actually worked against the current damage model we have on destroyers. Good. It made the Japanese destroyers fun again. But that only lasted 2 weeks. And then it was back to doing next to no damage. It also doesn't help that high explosive does little damage against most destroyers, but it legitimately does no damage against anything with anti-frag.
Par à tribord.
And guess what the most common spammed bot destroyers have? Frank Knox and Moffat both have anti-frag.
Chasseur. À tribord. 8000 mètres.
And there we go, ticket bleed is now in our favor.
Croiseur lourd.
Position 2, 8, 0. 8000 mètres.
There is an LA5 up.
Identifié. Chasseur.
2, 8, 0. 7000 mètres.
Somebody attack him.
Which is just buzzing that American heavy cruiser.
Position.
Yep, because that 46 and 47 also don't have any kind of AP.
Moteur à l'arrêt.
I see the aircraft approaching, and it's dead.
Cible détruite.
Contre-torpilleur.
You don't approach a ship from that low. So, I am
Par à tribord.
starting to legitimately think, or consider, cutting back my streaming schedule to only once a week and focus way more on video making. Because I will say, I am getting rather annoyed at constantly fighting these bots over and over and over again. So I've been considering cutting back my streaming schedule and focus way more on videos. Probably not that I would get them out any faster, but you know. I think I'll get it up to Paul. I'll make it to Paul about that. To ask the question.
Cible presque touchée. Cible presque touchée.
Tribord, tout. À tribord, tout. Terminé. Patrouilleur.
Because after a while I'm thinking to myself, like, I like streaming, I still like playing naval, luckily. But after a while, isn't it just always the same? Because all I'm doing is just using different ships to fight the exact same opponents over and over and over again. And the only thing to have spice it up now and then is just give myself a challenge, do EC, do an event, something like that. But I run out of ideas. The thing is, you can still sink destroyers with nothing but HE. It is just a lot harder. What you do is you shoot all their guns and their bridge. What you have to do with the Japanese destroyers and in extension Z46 and Z47 is you force the enemy to repair constantly. By knocking out guns, by knocking out the bridge, knocking out torpedoes, just crippling them, then waiting for them to repair, and rinse and repeat. That does mean that you can't really deal with enemies quickly. You have to give yourself time to just sink an enemy one by one by one. When you do Japanese destroyers in Z46, Z47, just anything that only has HE, you need to take your time at sinking them, at sinking enemies. There we go, not a Death Star, which I don't need, but it will. There we go. I'm getting closer to getting Jeanne d'Arc spaded. And that's some good RP for Primogwe. Rangefinders first, then primary armament. Sure thing, Maximus. I think I'll be continuing on. I'll play another match whilst you take a break. If that sounds fair to you. Yeah, I understand that you need a break. I'm gonna continue on. There we go. And if I'm still streaming, once you get back, tell me. And we'll see if we continue on. But now, let's continue on my own. And see if we can get better or worse matchmaking. Actually, I might make this match I'm currently going to do my last match for tonight as well. Because it has been 2 hours 20 minutes, which is fine. It's not as long as I used to do them, but it's fine. Domination South Kvarken. Okay. Yep. Taking out a bridge actually doesn't make it easier to the torpedoes. Let me actually not stumble over my own tongue. Taking out a bridge doesn't make it easier to torpedo a target. It's just that it makes them forced to do a repair. Because for some reason, if your bridge gets taken out and it has to be repaired, it is the same duration as just pressing your repair button. So I, for example, just press my repair button. I just repair since it's the same length anyways. That then is just an annoyance for most players getting the bridge taken out.
Barre tribord, tout.
More shotty guys again.
Terminé.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé. Croiseur lourd.
But yeah, if you have nothing but high explosive, just basically shoot and just
Ennemi détecté.
take out everything you possibly can. And if you get the first few shots up, and if you can manage to take out the enemy's armament before they can fire back in kind, you should be able to win most engagements if you're firing nothing but high explosive.
2, 4, 0. 13 000 mètres.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
As long as you also keep on top of destroying enemy armament over and over and over again. The only downside is that you can only really do that to a single target at a time. If you're fighting 2 or more enemy vessels, you can't really do that unless you're really rapid firing guns and you're really good. But even then, it's a bit risky.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant. 8000 mètres.
Cible identifié. Croiseur léger.
Au fond dangereux devant.
Oh, bye bye fishing boat, I think.
Cible identifié.
And where do we go? What is that even shooting at me? Heavy cruiser.
12 000 mètres.
Huygen. Who would have guessed?
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
Position 2, 4, 0.
Okay. I think something detonate as well.
Contrôle des dégâts aux
No, it should be
équipes
fine.
anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
Destroy the target.
I am, however, like I said before, I'm not going to repair because I'm under constant fire I cannot retaliate
Cible
against.
identifiée. Croiseur léger.
So I'm not going to repair. So I minimize my crew loss whilst moving into cover.
Cible identifiée.
That is so toxic.
Position 3, 0.
The problem is as well, I don't actually remember what it was like fighting like players at these kind of ranges. Would they shoot this aggressively as well? I'm somebody who doesn't. I wouldn't shoot at long range
Abandonnez.
because I don't really think I'd hit anything at long range. And let's do Le Malais because I'm not going to play cruiser now. Zombie Moffat, whose aimbot has clearly broken, as he's just aiming into the sky.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Mhm.
Croiseur lourd. À bâbord. 15 000 mètres.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté.
Somebody attack him!
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
And let's see if we can get something done on a destroyer instead of a cruiser. If I don't immediately get shot, that is.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 9000 mètres.
And the Le Malin in front of us is probably going to get cap, so I won't be able to get that RP for myself.
0. 8000 mètres.
But we can see if we can back him up. I have pulled off attacks with torpedo bombers myself multiple times. It is... I can't quite describe it without visual aids, and I really want to make a video on aircraft and how like stuff works. But the main reason why torpedo bombing is a lot harder is, first of all, the restrictions on the torpedo, like the drop range and the drop speed especially. For torpedoes, this will make them very difficult to use. And dodging anti-aircraft fire is a lot more difficult when you're lower and closer to the water surface than if you're just higher up. Mainly because you just have less space to dodge. The only real dodging you can do if you're flying low to the deck is side to side. And it will easily get you like... If you dodge side to side at low altitude, you will get... Every now and then you'll get into the spray of the anti-air gunners. Whilst if you go high altitude, if you're doing dive bombing, you can do a spiral kind of dodge, which will keep you out of the anti-air spray always. It's a bit difficult to explain if you also don't really know how the anti-air gunners work.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
It's just you can't really spiral dodge if you're on the deck. So the way to make torpedoes work, or to make torpedo attacks work, is either go for stuff with very little anti-air, which in general you always really want to do, also depending on the target value, or go for a target that's really close to an island that you can use as cover. It is quite difficult to attack something behind an island though, because you do lose track of where they are exactly. Which can lead to some difficulties in your attack. But I do know that's how I get most of my torpedo attacks off. Also because it mainly just... If you attack something behind an island, it takes the AI gunners a few seconds to get onto target. Because if they no longer see something to engage, they return to neutral position. And when they reacquire you, they have to, of course, swing around to lock onto you again. And I'm not going to survive in Le Malin, am I? Nope. The thing is, you don't actually have to get close with torpedoes. It is just a very difficult skill to learn to properly lead aircraft with torpedoes. But you don't have to get close. It's just easier to. I think I have once actually gotten a torpedo kill at beyond a kilometer with an airdrop torpedo. And I think it was on stream as well. I'm trying to remember what I played then. It's not that long ago either. I don't think it's last week, it was the week before where I managed to do it. I'm not entirely certain. But then again, the reason I got like a 1 kilometer plus airdrop torpedo kill is because the target was stationary. And they weren't expecting it. Undershooting this Mitcher for some reason, and I'm still alive. Well, I'm not anymore. Not my free crew. But this Mitcher should have finished me off ages ago. Thinking anyways, and I no longer have anything to shoot at, so just J out. I guess I can do a Primo Guest spawn, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Croiseur lourd. À tribord, 9000 mètres.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté. Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé. Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant, 10 000 mètres.
Torpedo bomber I would really love to give a proper try is the AM-1 Mauler for the Americans, which can carry I think 3 torpedoes. Because with 3 torpedoes you can actually like drop a decent spread of torpedoes. So I really want to give that a shot with long-range torpedo bombing. Although it's 5.7 and most things at 5.7, especially nowadays of HEVT. So getting within anywhere within 5 kilometers is quite a threat.
Croiseur lourd.
3-0-0. 10 000 mètres.
I really need to replay my Japanese aircraft because I remember loving them. Then again, the last time I really played my Japanese aircraft was back when his quote-unquote historical or nation-based matchmaking was actually a thing. So much fun. Although grinding their bombers out on Pacific maps wasn't too much fun. Fun enough. Exhilarating. Trying to bomb cargo ships. 250 kilo bombs. Good stuff back then.
Cible identifiée. Bombardier.
Position 3-0-0.
Although
5 000 mètres.
I really need to replay the guns because I have heard that a lot of the autocannons have been changed a lot.
11
I
000
don't
mètres.
remember the Japanese having bad guns.
Ennemi touché.
Barre au milieu du navire, terminé.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
2-8-0. 11 000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Patrouilleur.
Position 2-6-0.
Those bombs are going to be nowhere near whatever it's trying to bomb. Is it bombing the Graf Speer?
Bombardier.
Bombs might have been going for the Graf Speer.
3 000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant.
But I don't think they'll kill it. Yeah, I still quite like the Japanese bombers. Especially the Ki 67s. They have really good defensive armament, especially the second Ki 67.
Bombardier.
2-4-0. 3 000 mètres.
Ah, those, yeah. It's yeah. 7.7s are never really any good.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2-6-0.
But I do still have a very much a sweet spot for my Japanese fighters, Japanese aircraft in general. I really liked them back in the day. Mainly because back when I grinded them again, it was nation-based matchmaking, so you only ever fought Americans and Russians. And it's so funny seeing P-51s, P-47s, Corsairs, Yak-9s, LA-7s just trying to turn fight zeros. Because the second you see an American or Russian fighter turn with a zero, you know you have an easy kill.
À l'avant. 7000 mètres.
And it was so much fun. I also back in the day once had a match with one of the early zeros, I think the A6M2? Yeah, the A6M2. where I just had a full down tier and fought nothing but buffaloes in a 0. And that is just bullying. Yeah, those were the good times. The Eugen is shooting me, so I'm gonna try and get behind this mountain. Although I'm a bit
Dégâts aux équipes anti-incendie.
slow, of course, with the loss of an engine.
Compartiment en feu. Barre à bâbord.
I like the Japanese bombers, they're quick. They're fast bombers, lacking in payload, sure. But they're fast, so you can outclimb a lot of stuff.
Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Bâbord.
À bord, tous, terminé. Barre au milieu du navire, terminé.
Come on, engine repair, so I can just hug this island a little bit closer. I think I just broke lock. And somebody decaptured Alpha, that's also perfect.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé. Contre-torpilleur, à l'avant. 12 000 mètres.
Now, could we slowly but surely move on to Bravo and capture it?
We're controlling most of the zones.
Enemy on Bravo.
Cible identifiée. Bateau.
3, 2, 0. 5 000 mètres.
Attack the enemy!
Préparez les tubes
It's a
lance-torpilles.
Japanese torpedo boat as well, the T1.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Cible presque touchée.
You'll see him. Yep, he's dodging them. He saw them coming.
Croiseur lourd.
But if you wouldn't have dodged them,
8000
this would have been pretty good, I think.
Cible identifiée. Bateau.
5 000 mètres.
Those are. Ooh. Direct hit, no hull break. Well, it wasn't a direct hit, it hit the hull torpedo tube and not his hull. That lucky boat.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 8000 mètres.
Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours.
Cible presque touchée.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
Position.
Yeah, no, I know quite a few sim pilots that are not a fan of the Zero because it's a very easy aircraft.
Identifiée. Contre-torpille.
It just outturns everything.
2, 0. 8 000 mètres.
And I get the feeling that in air sim the battles are a lot closer.
Bateau.
3, 2, 0. 5 000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 4, 0. 8 000 mètres. Ennemi touché.
It would have been such a satisfying detonation if I actually got it.
Bateau. À l'avant.
Come on.
5000 mètres.
There we go. Well, not a detonation, but still a kill.
Cible identifiée. Bateau.
Position 3, 4, 0. 5 000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
2, 6, 0. 8 000 mètres.
Cible
You
identifiée.
might actually make it onto Bravo with a bit of luck.
3, 0, 0. 9 000 mètres.
Croiseur léger. À bâbord. 6000 mètres.
Ah, that's a
Cible
crim.
identifiée. Croiseur léger.
Don't really like fighting crims because they're very annoying to deal with.
10 000 mètres.
And at Milan got torpedoed by a Type T1.
Victory
course.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Ennemi touché.
Another really annoying side effect of constantly fighting these zombies is that I just
Cible identifiée.
don't know other ships anymore. Like, I don't know how to actually effectively deal with Krasny Krims anymore.
Perforation sous la ligne de flottaison.
Like, do I try and go for engines? Do I go for ammo rack? Do I just HE spam it? Which I'm actually very inclined to do at the moment.
Tout le monde, nous
Although that is if I'm going to survive long enough under fire from Zeugen.
à bâbord. 7 000 mètres.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé. Ouais, à tirer. L'ennemi en feu. Incendie. Incendie en salle de machine.
Cible identifiée. Attaque léger.
Position 2, 4, 0. S'il vous plaît.
Contrôle des dégâts aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
Nous avons subi des dégâts. Cible touchée par les obus.
Contrôle des dégâts en groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des
It actually that did
compartiments
all said I
inondés.
did. Okay.
Chasseur. À tribord. 4000 mètres.
Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Rétablissez l'étanchéité.
Frappe directe.
Yep. Zombie Eugen, 6 kills. Somehow spawned 2 aircraft.
Cible
Bit of
identifiée.
an old fact, but
Croiseur léger.
interesting.
2, 2, 0. 6 000 mètres. Frappe directe.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts
Interesting
critiques.
plan there, F6F.
Cible
Sure.
détruite, bravo.
Barre à tribord. Terminé. Croiseur léger. À bâbord.
8 000 mètres.
Cible identifiée.
Enemy torpedoes, but that's fine. That's however is not fine.
4, 0. 4 000 mètres.
I was saying not fine, but it doesn't really matter at this stage because I managed to decap Bravo.
Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Oh, those are good. And they were good.
Touché par les obus.
That was a match that started horribly,
Équipement en position de stockage.
but that was ended pretty well. So not too negative of a note to end tonight's stream on. And halfway towards Emile Bertin as well. There we go. So, that was more French Navy grinding, as stated. I'm going to leave it at that for tonight, because it is 2 hours 45 minutes is all right in my book. And Wednesday, what will I do Wednesday? I'll think of something by Wednesday. Maybe some more Navally Sea, maybe just even more French stuff. I'll have to see. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll be back on Wednesday.